Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. How are you doing? I am coming to you with breaking news out of Colorado. The Attorney General is now, this is so sad. I'm sorry. Colorado's Attorney General said Wednesday that a grand jury indicted three officers and two paramedics in the death of Elijah McClain, a black man who was put in a chokehold and injected with a powerful sedative 2 years ago in suburban Denver. The 23-year-old's death gained widespread attention during last year's protests against the racial injustice and police brutality following the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. So, guys, I'm just going to play for you the interview that his mother did with Oprah Winfrey. And, well, she did it on The View. So let me just bring this, and I'm going to bring it to you full circle so you can see this. I was following this case, and when it came across my phone, I went, oh my God, yes, hold on, let me play this for you.
McClain, Elijah has been described as a gentle soul and an artist who often played his violin for stray cats and dogs to help soothe them. What else do you want viewers to know about your son?
Elijah wasn't diagnosed with anything. He wasn't autistic. He was just a normal, well, he wasn't normal because we're all different from each other. But there wasn't anything that he had that was diagnosed and medically proven. So.
Now, guys, I just want to tell you this, that Elijah McClain was 23 years old. He was 23 years old. He was an American massage therapist from Aurora, Colorado, who was killed by police on August 30th, 2019. On August 24, 2019, an Aurora citizen reported to the police that McClain was wearing a ski mask and looked sketchy, and that he believed McClain was unarmed.
I want people to understand that he was not autistic. He was just different because he truly believed in humanity. It wasn't about the color of your skin. It wasn't about what kind of job you had. It was about the kindness that we showed each other. You know, he wanted to heal people through his hands. He was an artist. He was a musician. He was a runner. That's why he had the runner's mask that night.
Now, guys, you had three. Oh my God, you had three police officers who were involved in this incident. Nathan Woodyard, Jason Rosenblatt, and Randy Rodema. And according to them, their body cameras were knocked off during the struggle with McClain. Elijah was forcibly held to the ground with his hands cuffed behind his back, after which paramedics administered ketamine to McClain to sedate him. While on the scene, McClain went into cardiac arrest. 3 days after arriving at the hospital, he was declared brain dead and was removed from life support on August 30th. McClain's autopsy was inconclusive. I'm serious. This is
We are all anemic in my family. So him having a layers of clothes in August in Colorado isn't out of the norm. You know what I'm saying? So I just need everybody to understand that he was a regular person that was different in his own way, and that's never a target. That's never a reason to be a target just because of somebody else's lack of empathy or their ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, due to the outcry of this happening, at the time, the Colorado governor, Jared Polis, I think he still might be governor, he ordered his administration to re-examine the case. 5 days later, photos that were taken in October 2019, which showed officers posing inappropriately and reenacting the corduroy restraint used on McClain, taken at the site when he was detained, were discovered. One officer resigned and 3 were fired. February 2021, an investigation report ordered by the city council was released. The investigation found that the police officers involved in McClain's death did not have the legal basis to stop, restrain, or frisk him. The report questioned the police officer's statements, criticized the medical respondent's decision to inject McClain with a sedative, and admonished the police department for failing to do a serious questioning of the officers following Elijah's death. This young man had been a massage therapist for about 4 years. He shared an apartment with his cousin. This is, oh my God. And everybody described him as a spiritual seeker, a pacifist, an oddball, a vegetarian, athlete, and a peacemaker who was exceedingly gentle. So let's just.
Unfortunately, as we know, this is not an unusual thing to have happen in this day and age. And I wonder if you feel that, given all of the crying out that we've been due for our kids, for our brothers and sisters, whether you see any hope in here. Do you think people may just start to be listening now?
I think they're starting to listen. I think it's going to take a lot more, though, because there's so many people that are still trapped in the old way of thinking and the old way of doing things. It's hard for people to relinquish control when they realize they truly didn't have them in the first place. So it's the whole illusion of who they were that they need to get away from so they can truly accept everybody else. Because we're not going anywhere. Black people are not going anywhere. People of color are not going anywhere. We deserve to be here just like anyone else. And if we could just get away from fighting over whose turn is it to have the colored crayon, or whose turn is it to be blue or red, we get so much further as humans to make this place a better world,
Guys, his friend said that he had a way with animals. He was even known to have played his violin for cats. They said his gentleness with animals extended to humans as well. One of his clients recalled him as the sweetest, purest person I've ever met. He was definitely a light in a whole lot of darkness. They also said, one of his friends said that they don't even think he would have set a mousetrap if there was a rodent problem. So the statement that the officers gave was that McClain resisted when confronted by the responding officers, and Officers Woodyard and Rosenblatt heard Officer Redeemer shout, "He's going for a gun. He's going for your gun." The attorney that's representing the family said the officers involved slammed Elijah into a wall immediately after apprehending him. Redeemer said that McClain reached for and grabbed the grip of Rosenblatt's gun that was holstered. There was no visual body camera footage, which I told you they said it was knocked off in the struggle to show that Elijah had reached for his gun. This is ridiculous. They held this young man to the ground for 15 minutes. He was in distress. While restrained, he was sobbing and repeatedly saying, "I can't breathe." He vomited several times, for which he apologized, saying, "I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to do that." Elijah's arms were handcuffed behind his back. Woodyard applied a corduroy control hold, which intentionally cuts off blood flow to the brain by compressing the carotid arteries in the neck, rendering Elijah briefly unconscious. One officer threatened he would have his police dog bite Elijah as he lay handcuffed and pinned to the ground. While he was restrained, more officers arrived, and the audio of the conversations are recorded, saying that he was acting crazy, he was definitely on something, and that he had attacked them with incredible, crazy strength. And they tried to restrain him. This is what the officer was saying. They said at one point, 3 officers were on top of him. McClain was 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. And the paramedics that were there, they injected this young man with 500 milligrams of ketamine as a sedative allowable in Colorado for a condition called excited delirium. He was put in an ambulance, and one of the medics noticed that his chest wasn't rising on its own, and he did not have a pulse. He was pronounced brain dead on August 27. 3 days later, he died on August 30th. This is when they removed him from life support. The coroner could not, like I said, the coroner could not establish the exact cause of death, and therefore his cause of death was listed as undetermined. Well, we know he didn't die of natural causes. They said that he had that he went into cardiac arrest. Despite this, the same coroner stated that it may have been an accident resulting from whatever that word is, drug reaction, and could have been homicide if the officer's use of the corticosteroid hold contributed to his death, or that his death also might have been caused by an asthma attack. No, his death was caused by these 3 cops and these 2 paramedics. That's what it was caused by. You killed a young man because he had a mask on his face, and someone said he looked suspicious, but he looked to be unarmed. This is what we're doing now. Let's just finish this out.
I don't know what it's gonna take, but I don't have hope. Honestly, I don't have hope. I think what's happening now is just everybody's being more awoke to what's truly going on. But there's still a fight just to get human rights to be more than animal rights.
Guys, just so you know, I will be keeping track of this case, which I had been watching this case for a while, and I was waiting to see what was going to happen. Again, this young man played a violin. He was out running. Reminds me of this guy that was running through a neighborhood he just moved into, and, people started chasing him and shot him. For what? Because he was a black man running through a white neighborhood. I don't mean to make this about race. I really, really don't. But this has gotten out of control. And this was around the same time of everything that had just happened to George Floyd, like we saw what happened in Rochester, New York. We're seeing this all across everything. It doesn't take much to be nice. It doesn't take much to mind your own business. It's free. This young man was doing nothing wrong. When does a paramedic come to a scene and inject you with ketamine when you were handcuffed and your hands were behind your back? What could you do? Not a damn thing. Guys, I'm sorry. I was going to come live and I was going to do cut to the chase this morning. But again, I just thought I just needed to put this out here. So I just want to make sure that you are aware of what's going on. Thank you again for being here. I really appreciate you all support and everything else. I'll see you later this evening. Bye.